And we're back. You missed us already? They're like a whole 10 minutes. I know. You can't get enough of us. But this is the Decoding Apollo, a collection of original NSAS, NASA, media, and data after show, right? What's the acronym for NASA? Not the real one, but what is the show one that we have for it? Never again saying, so, I don't know what the hell it was.
I didn't know we had one.
Yeah, there's some shill thing. I can't remember what the hell. Come on. It's a flat earther out there's got to tell us what they think NASA means. I forget what they think it means.
Never a straight answer.
There you go. Never straight answer. Yes, we are Lyle and deceive. So we're here to like shill for the Illuminati. And no, what we got. So if you guys hadn't followed this from the non sequitur show, and by the way, my voice is shot. We had a presentation on basically. Well, you know what? Now I'm gonna let you describe it since it was your presentation.
I'm too tired, man.
You basically a bunch of really cool stuff dating back from the late 60s, early 70s, probably to the Apollo 14 mission, and maybe even some before then, dealing with it looked like kind of like logs from 9-inch or 10-inch, I think, reel to reel magnetic tape and 9-track tape.
That inch makes a difference, Steve.
That extra inch, huge difference. I do agree. But we thought we have a little quick after show if people didn't get a chance to ask questions about it, or if they wanted to know more about how the stuff came about to be in his possession. We could kind of get into that. But unfortunately, it is. I think. What time is it? Your time? It's got to be late for you.
Late as fuck, man. 10 past 2 p.m. Sorry,
late.
a.m.
Oh man.
So this probably won't be a very long after show if depending on who decides to join us. We have given it out to a couple people, but unfortunately they haven't joined us. So anyways, what you got for us today? And by the way, if you want to talk about anything else, that's fine too. We can talk about some dumpster fires that were going on. I just had a really good one on Twitter. We can talk about that if you guys want to get into that. But let's kind of just real quick though, talk about this Apollo stuff real quick. At least the overall gist of what this stuff really means to the skeptics out there that well, I should say the skeptics, the flat earthers out there that think that we never went to the moon. Clearly this is tangible evidence. This is stuff that goes back 50 years. I mean, there's just no way somebody can look at this stuff and go, okay, they fabricated this so long ago for us to find today, right?
Sure they can.
That'd take a lot of planning, right? I mean, huge amount of planning.
Of course they can. I mean, it's obvious with the pictures that we saw tonight that we didn't go to the moon. I mean, Niles, you can confirm that, right?
I can't confirm nor deny.
That's the best answer you can give.
Well,
you sound like you're already passed out, Niles.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't sure going to have an after show because I knew it was late for you, and I knew that you'd probably be really tired. In fact, it's been a kind of a long day for all of us. I had an interview this morning on Craig Reed's channel, basically, and Seigart was hanging out, and S.J. Thomason was hanging out, and basically on how I decided to leave theism and the reasons behind it, stuff like that. But it's been a long day. Plus, I had to get a podcast out and all
now
kinds of other stuff.
You're a frequent on Nathan Oakley's channel, right?
I've never been on Oakley. No, I've never been on Nathan's channel. No, he's been on mine. Oh, Kyle has? You go on Nathan's channel, dude?
I think so.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Tell us about that. What do you school him in?
Well, I don't really school him on much. I don't really debate with him. I just showed some of my items on his show. Talked for 40 minutes about my tapes. Funny as shit. And
how does he take it? What's his reaction?
Well, he thinks it's very interesting, but doesn't. But that's about it.
Does he believe it?
Yeah, it looks like it looks like we fooled him. I'm sorry, what?
Now, have you ever done an actual debate? I mean, have you ever gone toe to toe with a flat earther and anything like that?
Yeah, sometimes, but yeah, I've debated I've debated a few times on Nathan Oakley's show. Not with Nathan, but with the other people.
And how that worked out. By the way, if you guys want in, just message me for the link. Anybody can come in. Come on in, be one with us. And thank you, Justin James, for the $2 sending love. Up my back at you. Let me send some love your way.
Hashtag pray for Kent Hovind.
Hashtag thoughts and prayers. Kent Hovind, Arn Raw, part 2.
I think it went all right. We both got enough time to debate. You know, none of us were neither of us were shut up. So I think it went pretty well. Of course, I am outnumbered in the stream, so
Well,
you know,
if you added up all of their brain cells and compared it to yours, it's actually quite even.
No, I don't like so. They say things like that, you know. Not with Nathan watching.
Well, you know, okay. A while back, a couple of days ago, I got inundated by messages. It seems like when anything goes on, you know, it's great when people tell me things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to stop, but it's like if one person sends me a message, I usually get like 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 more, right? And so I was just inundated with these messages that Nathan Oakley was slapping his kid around on a live stream. Now, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know the exact details of it, but I guess it's gotten around, and people, even on the flat earth side, kind of think that that's obviously inappropriate, and clearly I do, but I don't know the amount of severity, and I'm not saying there's like a degree of a slap compared to like beating the crap out of somebody, a kid. Both of them are equally bad, but I mean, I can't pass judgment until I actually watch the video. But people are having a hard time keeping him in the flat earth community, I guess, because there's just certain things you don't do, and I guess slapping your kid on camera is one of them. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I watched the.
How bad was it?
The video. I would prefer to stay out of drama.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. You know, and I don't like drama either. However, child abuse is child abuse, and there are certain things I will call out. That's definitely one of them. I mean, it was just like yelling at his kid or something, whatever. But if it's physical abuse, then I wouldn't want to have that around, and that I will call out because that's not drama. That's something that needs to be pointed out because I don't want people like that around. You know.
Yeah, I get you. You can watch the video on YouTube. Just search for Nathan slaps kid or something, and you get it.
Yeah, it hasn't been on my high on my bucket list, to be honest with you, because there's been so many other things to attend to. Like for example, like I mentioned the Twitter fire that I had earlier this morning. It's over something like so menial, right? And yet when somebody says something along the lines of, well, you know, you made an error, and I'm like, okay, what's the error? And then they tell you what they think is the error, and it's like, no, that's not really an error. And then they go on for 3 hours about it. It's like, are you kidding me? And basically was this: when you and again, I'm not like immersed in logic, right? I mean, I know very basic syllogistic logic, very, very basic propositional logic, nothing extravagant. But one of the shorthand notations they use is very common, is P greater sign the Q to represent P implies Q. That's it. And this person swears up and down that shorthand that I just typed in the live chat is invalid. And like, no, that's completely valid logic. It's just very shorthand. And literally it's turned into a point where now this person is calling me transphobic and a bigot because people have been telling her, no, that's perfectly fine to write that way. And it's just it's been boggling my mind that it goes back to the Kalam cosmological argument that it is a valid logical argument. It's just not sound, I don't think. I think it has equivocation problems and it's certainly not convincing. But the structure is perfectly logical. It's modus ponens. But they're denying actual logic in order to keep the ideology that they have that, oh, they can't even give an inch to say that the Kalam cosmological argument is a logical argument. And I call that stuff out when I see it because I think that if you're going to be as a skeptic and you're going to promote what is factual, what is true, you need to promote what is factual and what is true. And it is true that the Kalam cosmological argument is validly logical or logically valid. It's just not sound. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm kind of get the live chat's input on that, what they think of that. And I am on G Plus now. Actually, no, I'm not. Now I'm on G Plus. I don't have any message from anybody on G Plus. Oh, yep, I did get a message from somebody. Yes, you can get the link. Shared only with me. How sweet. There you go. Whoever just asked me for the link, you got it. There you go.
Who's coming?
I think it's Puffalopicus, if I'm not mistaken.
Sweet.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah, we like Puff. Puff, puff, pass. So a couple people are saying that it makes sense. So anybody has never seen that type of shorthand before? I'm just kind of curious. And there's another type of shorthand too, using what's called a superset notation. And that would be basically something along the lines that looks like this. Let me copy and paste this. So you say P, Q, that means the same thing. But all those mean P implies Q. But I was told that shorthand is not actual shorthand. I'm like, well, every book I read on logic, when I do read it, uses shorthand notation just exactly as I typed. So hello. So Squirrelosis says, I totally agree. An argument can be logically sound, but still dead wrong. Actually, it would be logically valid, but still dead wrong, right? Because the validity of an argument goes to the syntax, right? If it's logically structured, then it's valid. But if the premises aren't true, then it's not sound. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually for a superset 0, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. That symbol that I used is actually a superset, but you can actually say P superset Q, and that means P implies Q in shorthand for logic if you don't use the greater than symbol.
Oh shit! Puff.
Shit.
Puff, are you here, baby? No, he's not here yet.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Oh, okay. Do you want? I saw your first name. You don't want that? Do you want that out?
Man, I already let people know. You know, they know my name's
Okay.
Kyle.
All right. Well, you know what? We have another Kyle in here. Maybe you're the same person.
No, because no.
Just no?
No.
No possibility?
No.
No. Are you high?
Hey, man, you're asking me very weird questions here, man. Are you the fucking fuzz, man? What's going on?
Just take the fifth, dude. Take the fifth. Wait, no, this is an important question, actually, really, seriously. Did we go to the moon, Puff? Did we go to the moon?
I actually have several reasons to know why we went to the moon. First of all, is that you know what the biggest hole in their whole theory is, Steve?
Fake news.
Boy, are you asking me to narrow this down? Probably it would have been I would have said that the fact that it would have been impossible at the time to actually fake it, more or less go to the moon.
Do you know why it would be impossible to fake it when they did the first landing?
Well, they didn't have the technology to fake it. I mean, the Russians, they were at Cold War with us, and they would have definitely noted to us that we never launched.
Right.
They definitely had satellite. They definitely had their eyes trained on us. They would have known. That would have been my go-to for.
Well, there's one key piece of technology that did not exist anywhere in the world when we did the first moon landing, and that was a high-speed camera that could record for more than 15 seconds at the rate needed to produce the effect that you would see of someone walking or bouncing on the moon.
Well, they had a couple different cameras. I know they set up a few different types of cameras, and you're right, they were high speed. I don't remember the names of them, but I've looked at them before. But they had set like one camera up, and that was when the lunar module had actually taken off from the moon. Right? You actually see it. It looks fake as shit, but.
Well, yeah, the reason why is because the what they considered because there's only two ways to do slow motion, right? You can either film
high speed and slow it down, yeah.
High speed and slow it down, or film normal speed, and stretch it or whatever, But it makes it look janky if you do it, if you just try to slow down a normal one, it looks stuttery. because you're seeing individual frames. But the best they could do would give you, I think it was equivalent of 10 FPS. So that wouldn't have worked on a normal TV at the time. And so for 30 FPS, I think it was 4 years after the first landing that they came up with a camera that could do it. And like when they had the 10 FPS, like the reel to do that much footage of more than, what was it, at least a minute or 2 minutes, right? Like 15 minutes or something like that. But to do a minute or so, they said, this is what the film guy said. He was a director, and he said it would have been bigger than the lunar capsule, the fucking film reel.
Without Stanley Kubrick, right?
Well, no, and that's the thing is that Kubrick, Kubrick, he said he was inspired by them actually doing it, you know, and he was like, okay, so let's push this.
Do you know we actually got high-speed film that can actually literally slow down light to a single quantum packet and show a single quantum packet going through a Coke bottle? Did you ever see that?
Actually,
freaking amazing.
Thunderfoot has that. You know, he has that Phantom high-speed camera, that $25,000 camera, and what he wants to do is he needs, of course, an area where he can get a mile and an L. But what he wants to do is use his camera and film a single photon of light moving back and forth, because it's set it up with a mirror and all that. But you know, he needs the room to do it.
Yeah, I actually had heard that Stanley Kubrick was such a pedantic director that he did film the moon landing, but he decided to do it on location. Old joke, but it's still funny.
Actually, him and the guy that wrote 2001: A Space Odyssey, they really they got along at sometimes, but then the guy that wrote the book really did not like some of Kubrick's artistic freedoms, you know, artistic license.
I love the movie 2001: Space Odyssey. Now, granted, it starts off very slow, don't get me wrong, but if you actually look at the meta overarching thing that they're trying to say, right? I mean, they're basically saying that man goes through these cycles of birth and living their life and growing, you know, being a child, a toddler, an adult, you know, then dying. And the whole overarching is the same thing for mankind. You start off with this very naive, trying to learn fire, right? I mean, that's like a childlike thing. And then they learn how to make like a toilet in space. And then they progress to, you know, to old age. And it's just that meta narrative that I thought was brilliant.
Oh, yeah. But what I like about the movie is that I did not know, but I had watched the movie a couple times, because that is one movie, and you know this, if you watch the intro and then you go take a piss and you come back, you don't know you're watching the same movie. Like, you know, the opening scene with the monkeys. What's that?
You just got really good weed.
No, like, because in the beginning it's like Steve knows, it's like the monkeys and, you know, the proto-humans are fighting and everything, and it looks like a nature documentary. You think maybe you're watching Planet of the Apes or something, and then if you left before they throw that bone in the air and you come back 5 minutes later, you would think you're watching a totally different movie.
But that bone was the key thing, right? I mean, that was like the point where they were going from one epoch to another.
Yeah, it was a turning point. It was a milestone.
And how long was it before anything even happened in that movie? It was like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes or something. Seemed like forever. I watched it a couple times, but it still has been a while.
Yeah, Slow Build didn't know what it was. They didn't name Slow Build right when Kubrick came around. Kubrick reinvented the slow build. He brought it to a mild simmer.
So deep.
You ever watch it, Kyle?
I have not.
Oh my!
It's worth watching. Don't get me wrong; it is arduously long. Don't. I mean, but it's a very great movie. I mean, I can't do that, Hal. Oh no, I can't do that, Dave. Open the Bombay doors.
But oh my goodness! And at the end, that the regression of its mind. I don't want to ruin too much, but it's a heart jerker. makes you really want to cry, man. You're like,
Green Mile.
Well, here's the thing, Kyle. That's the thing. That's a human being, but Kubrick makes you cry for a machine.
I do that every time my phone dies.
He has. Oh yeah, he's every time he like broken his Apple phone, tears flow.
I don't understand people that break phones.
Oops.
What don't you? What do you mean by that?
He's hard on.
I'm very, very poor, so like I save up my money, advance, and then I buy my phone outright with my Amazon Prime discount, and then I get a case for it the same day, so they come together, and I never take it out of the case, and I haven't broken a phone in like 5 years.
Oh well, my problem is I jump in the pool with it, not thinking. I have my phone in my pocket, and I just jump in. And I don't think until I get in. Actually, it's mid-jump that I realize that my phone's in my pocket. So there's this like half of a second where I have a really bad argument with myself, like, God, you're so fucking stupid. And then you hit the water and it's over.
Oh, no, not me. If anybody here has seen Identity Thief, I will pull that move on you. I will throat chop. I will throat punch somebody if I even see him near me with water and I got my phone.
Did you ever see a movie way back when? It was by John Carpenter called Dark Star.
I have heard of it, but I have not watched it.
Oh, it's a cult classic. If you guys ever watched Dark Star, go check it out. It is. I got to tell you, the graphics, shit. I mean, it's just abysmal how bad the actual graphics are, but the story is just top notch. It's one of my favorite cult movies.
I wanted to ask the guest, what country are you from? Are you Dutch? Do you speak Dutch?
I speak Dutch.
Okay, how do you say Huygens' name actually? It's like Christian Huy. I can't say it because my mouth doesn't move like that.
I don't know.
Like the Huygens spacecraft thing?
Yes, like we pronounce it
Huygens. I don't know. I know it's a Dutch.
Yeah, it's a very hard H. It's like Huygens.
Yeah, I'm Dutch, but
it's
Huygens.
Huygens.
Yes, that's it. Okay, yeah.
Go.
See, it doesn't even sound like what we say, Steve.
That's like saying, hey man, hey Kyle, how do you speak English, man? You know, like how do you say this in in English? Are you not speaking English right, bro?
We can get your mouth moving in the right direction, Puff.
I love that.
Whoa, no,
Isn't that badass?
Not happening, man. I don't need mouth. I don't want mouth movement lessons from Kyle because that ends in a sore throat.
Don't judge. Don't judge.
Get into the stretch marks for your throat.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That's why I couldn't do it. It takes a real man to suck a dick, and I can't do it. You got to really have some gusto. I don't have it.
You got to go balls deep sometimes, man.
Wow.
On ESPN the Ocho.
Look at the state of this.
It always just like devolves into all kinds of stupid shit, doesn't it?
Well, Steve.
It's okay though.
Steve's a former sailor. I'm the son of a sailor, so
get lonely out at sea, you know. So
go to waxing the dolphin.
Tomorrow, though, you guys want to hear something cool? What's happening tomorrow?
What's
We're going to be doing something unique. We are doing a very special edition of Rum and Coke Night. And what we're going to be doing is the feminist next door. She, on Fridays, does a thing on Twitter where basically she has people ask questions about vaginas. And so it's Vagina Friday. So what we're going to do is we're going to be...
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? No, wait, Saturday. That's tomorrow, right? Today's Friday, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow. It's going to be at 8 o'clock Pacific. And is it 9, 10? Yeah, 8 Pacific, 11 Eastern. And we're going to be live streaming as people go on Twitter and ask her questions about vaginas. Now that's going to be fun, right? What can go wrong there?
I don't see any demonetization or strikes coming from that. No way.
No, not at all. I'm going to have to be very careful because obviously Twitter allows certain content that obviously you can't show. But I'll figure out a way to filter it before I put it on screen. Like just put the tweet out or something, you know?
See,
Hannah, I understand she'll be skipping that one. Hannah, don't you want to learn about vaginas? Come on. It's educational.
Here's my problem with Twitter is that the rules don't make sense.
No, they don't. But did you guys know that the word vagina is actually banned on radio? I didn't know that.
Well,
it has to be bleeped out. Why?
Think about it. It's like the oldest medium ever, right? So somebody probably like wears pinstripe suspenders, probably owns it.
Yeah, I do know what Hannah does for a living. You know what? You might be able to come in and give us lessons on it, Hannah. Come on. Hannah says, Steve, you know what I do for a living. Yes, I do. But obviously the vagina is a normal word. It shouldn't be stigmatized because it's the name of a mammalian part. If you're a mammal and you're a female, you probably have one. Although there have been cases where they didn't born with one, but they're very rare and far and few between, and it's a condition I could never memorize in my life dependent on it. So
I've heard about it where it's like closed.
Yeah.
Vagina, no openness.
I think that's technical term for it. Yeah.
Yeah, the technical term is no.
I think we're all dead.
So
everybody's just a little gay.
Well, I don't know. I'm just the icky bits, man.
Yeah, everything I know about being gay just wouldn't work for me. That's all.
Don't worry, Steve. You're safe in your.
I think I am. Now, you know it's I used to be hit on by gay men, back in the day, and I'd certainly take a drink from them, but yeah, not so much anymore. Oh well, I guess I lost my touch.
Don't make me start gay-splaining to you.
I can't believe that's actually a word, gay-splaining.
I was gonna ask him. I was like, "Isn't it a compliment to get hit on by a gay guy?"
Yeah, cool. Whatever.
I've heard other gay guys say, "Look, all you straight guys think you can just jump the fence and you're gonna be all hot stuff. No, if chicks aren't into you because you look ugly, we're not into you."
Yeah, no, I'm definitely fine with that. No, I mean, I'm like, I don't get offended by it. It's like, let them try, right? If a guy hits on you, you shouldn't take offense to it. I mean, I think it's kind of an asinine move for a guy to hit on another guy and the guy get upset by going, like all violent or ballistic or shit like that. Just take the compliment and move the fuck on and say, look, I'm
those are the ones that are plowing them at the end of the night.
You know what? I've heard that actually happens too. I'm like, really? Like, I don't get it, man. I was like, I just don't get it. So I don't know. You may have to gay explain it one day.
See, and there's some benefits of the community. According to my wife and her friends, like gay bars always serve way stronger drinks, and they're cheaper too.
I don't know if I've been to an actual quote gay bar, but how about gay friendly bar? Does that make sense?
Well, like oriented dance club, like a LGBTQ oriented dance club. Usually, they from what my wife and her friends say, they serve heavy drinks. Like Kyle said, probably so you're getting pounded at the end of the night.
Well, I haven't ever had that happen, so
just look for the white powder in the bottom of the glass, you'll be all right.
So
yeah, exactly. You know they have actually things for that now where you put like I don't know what it is, like a piece of paper or something. It tells you if your drink has been roofied. I think it's a good idea.
I thought he was going to talk.
So the problem with claiming Stanley Kubrick faked the Apollo program is pretty obvious. When you look at which times he released a movie. So if you calculate how long one movie took to make, and you look at how long before he released how long it took before he released a new movie, and you calculated how much time he had between these movies to fake this, he wouldn't have enough time. So, for example, 2001 A Space Odyssey is like 2.5 hours, and it took 2 years to make. Apollo 11, just the EVA is already 3 hours. Then you have, of course, all the scenes inside the command module. But, for example, Apollo 17 had 22 hours of video. So it would take like something like 10 years just to make Apollo 17. Then you have 16, 15, 14, 13, 20, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. And what about the Gemini missions? Werd they faked as well?
Those didn't happen according to some people too, right?
Yeah, but we don't talk about those people. So if you look, he would need like 50 years. So to make all of these missions, but 50 years back, he was, and how did he release all his movies while working full time on these other missions? How did he find time in between 2001 to fake all of the footage that was used for the Apollo missions? And one problem is that it would be impossible to fake the Apollo missions ahead of time, because because several times, especially in Apollo 17, they zoom in the live television camera on the Earth, so you can see the cloud patterns on the Earth. If you then compare those cloud patterns to the how do you call it, to the weather satellite photos taken just a few hours before or after, they match up. So if they faked the Apollo missions ahead of time, the cloud patterns would match up to the cloud patterns of that time when the missions were broadcasted. So yeah.
I think it was this. It's probably the same way that the dinosaur fossils were faked. The devil actually came a long time ago and got the footage ready and planted it, and then Stanley Kubrick just came along and finished it up, popped it out.
Sure, Cal.
Boy, we're definitely getting tired, huh? I told you this probably wouldn't be very long. Does the outside chat have any kind of questions or anything they want to get into, or anything else they want to talk about? Because this is not going to be a long after show. I think everybody's like really tired and burned out.
Good night, outside chat.
Anything outside chat? No, probably not. So, we got to fix this real quick. There you go. So I guess we're going to kind of call it a night. Kyle, anything else going on this week that you got planned? I know you got some stuff tomorrow with Adham and something else too. I just don't remember what it was.
We're going to do Christopher Hitchens tribute at 4.
But that's okay. But wait, that's what channel is that though?
It's going to be on Non-Sequitur.
Who's that with?
Whoever wants to come.
Oh, you just. Oh, okay. I mean, okay.
It's just to open.
How about
if you have a special moment, just send me the timestamps, and we'll try to get you in. I know I've got with me, Steve, Tony Reed. Oh shit!
It's at 4:00. You said.
Yeah, Emperor
right.
Atheist.
I definitely should be back by then because I told you I'll be out most of the day. But if for some reason I'm not, then you know why. But I should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
because I do got to go pretty far away to go do some stuff.
And John Cedars, he'll be with us too. So it'll be a cool time.
How about I show the punch cards?
Yeah, do that. And yeah, it's 4 Eastern, so that's like 1:00 my time. So I have to go out in the morning and the afternoon and do some stuff. And I should be back by noon, maybe one of the latest. But
you just jump in and get back.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got here? Let's present this.
So, about a few weeks ago, some eBay seller put online a batch of NASA punch cards that I suspect were used in the development of the Apollo program. So if it will show up. it's going to take a while because the hard drive has to spin up. So there are around 2,500 punch cards. You can see them right here. IBM Fortran cards. You can see right here, it says
Okay, wow. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Lunar Direct Ascent. And I think the only NASA mission in this era that would lift off was the Apollo mission. Most of the data seem to be orbital calculations. You can see right here, orbital analysis program. And you can see altitude, miles, average latitude, feet squared, Pearslag, particle weight. So something to do with orbital mechanics. So this would have been used by NASA engineers or engineers at a contractor to calculate stuff.
Now, do they rent the IBM machine, or they actually like they buy them? Those machine readers, do you know? Because the original ones, most of them are rented.
I'm not sure. They were supplied by IBM, but I'm not sure if they were rented or bought. I'm not sure. Okay, so I have come in contact with somebody that has written a Python program, so we can that analyzes a photo of the card, and it detects the holes in it. And if I then run the program, let's see. Oops. One moment. Wait.
Well, I guess I got time. Time to pack a bowl.
Pack a bowl, man. Yeah, go nuts, dude.
No, I was gonna say, Steve, did you notice in 2001: A Space Odyssey when they're walking down the ramp to the obelisk, right, or the whatever, the pillar thing, the black pillar thing?
Yeah, the obelisk.
Yeah. Did you notice when they're walking down it? They're walking down that ramp looks nothing like the astronauts walking on the moon, and yet the people that say that it was faked cite that movie as the evidence.
Yeah, they're walking pretty, like
they were just strolling.
They're just strolling down there. Yeah, I know.
There was no. It looked like there was like. I'm like, dang, that moon had a lot of gravity, man.
Yeah, the monolith. The monolith. There was. Yeah. Do you know what the monolith? Does anybody know what the story of the monolith was? I mean, I don't think you actually learned in 2001:
Weren't they supposed to be basically a fuck, I know the name.
Right. I've read 2010 and I read the sequel to that too. But what it was the monolith was
it's a von Neumann probe, right?
It was a probe by the aliens from Europa to determine as soon as humans had space capabilities.
Yeah, and it's called a von Neumann probe.
A von Neumann.
Von Neumann probe.
Yeah, von Neumann probe actually is a probe that's allowed to self-replicate as it continues. It can just produce things from like materials it finds, like asteroids. Right. But it usually and they can carry on the sentience supposedly of a culture, right? So it's self-replicating. They're like exist forever and they go infinite. But the obelisk, they were actually using that. Did you notice they all got like thrown into Jupiter? You know what they were trying to do?
Destroy them.
Make it into a star, because Jupiter is considered to be a failed star, although it's really needs a lot more mass. But they were trying to add mass, and they succeeded, right? In the movie, they succeeded, and they wanted that to become a star, so Europa, the ice would melt, and they would basically start life there again, or start some kind of seed life there. And that's where they said, you can go to any planet, anywhere you want, but stay away from Europa, because they were like the stewards of like Europa, and they didn't want anybody messing with it, from what I understand, from what I remember from the books.
And see,
Okay.
that's part of the stuff that was like kind of lost in the movie, and that the guy that wrote the book, he was not happy about the way that Stanley Kubrick took it. You know, like a far more dystopian type of future.
Yeah, I don't think it really had much of a dystopian scenario in 2010, did it? I mean, again,
Well,
maybe the book,
what I mean
maybe,
is, you
but
notice how they had like
it's
the
been a while.
humdrum, like emotionlessness to them, like the computer had more emotion than the humans almost.
Like how you mean? I don't know if he
Yeah.
really had emotions. Just he was just like, like a sick computer. Because I think they infected Hal got infected with the Europeans, I guess. I mean, I think they kind of like took over Hal, didn't they?
Well, Hal saw it as his duty to make sure that they did not complete their mission because it was also his mission to ensure their safety, and he saw that the mission was going to end in them dying. Like if they did what they were supposed to do and track down this shit to the conclusion, and they were going to die. So his thing was, I got to stop the mission before I got to stop them from completing the mission.
By killing them.
Yeah, it works. I mean, you know, killing them softly with his words.
Yeah, they had to do something. Well, like I said, that's why I brought up John Carpenter's Dark Star, because it's kind of very similar. There's a bomb, a smart bomb that gets deployed, and he's negotiating to the bomb because it's an AI not to detonate, not to fall to the planet and blow it up and shit. And the conversation was just epic between him and an AI bomb. It was definitely reminiscent of Hal.
Okay, so this is the card, the photo of a card that has been analyzed by the Python program. You can see it is able to detect the holes in it from a unpunched selection. And if you close it, it will give the output of the card with
That's pretty cool.
with the text that it has decoded. So yeah, that's it. And I got about 9 of these cards that I'm going to read and put online. Awesome. So thank you for having me on here, but I will be heading to bed now.
Yeah, we're going to be calling a night too, so we do appreciate you coming on and having
Good night,
this.
everyone.
Great. Everybody go smoke a bowl. Don't forget tomorrow, a whole bunch of stuff planned. Go look at the schedule, www.nonsequitorshow.com. Oh, no, www.nonsecshow.com. And don't forget tomorrow night, get some alcohol. Ludic Interface, you especially, go get some alcohol so you can join us for a Coke night, because it's been a while, bro. We're going to be talking about vaginas, so I mean, we can't go wrong there, guys. Bring a friend. And with that, good night.